So, over the past couple weeks, artists have been posting anti-AI art all over Twitter and DeviantArt, claiming that AI art is not art. Even Miyazaki has these fears about AI art.
どこでたどり着きたいんですか？人間が描くのと同じように絵を描く機械を作りたいんだ。はい。地球最後の日が近いって感じですね。
We'll dive into it right after that intro. What is up, guys? It is your boy Blackart, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about AI art and why I think most people are wrong about it, as well as giving my opinion on it. So, back in 1917, an artist named Marcel Duchamp took a porcelain urinal, placed it on its side, signed it with a pseudonym R. Mutt, and called it art. Most people who have studied art or have taken art classes know The Fountain by Marcel and its effects on the art community. For a long time, artists and intellects have debated whether this was to be considered art or not. And most people consider this to be art. A very important question we have to address is, what is art? I found it quite fitting to ask an AI that question. And well, according to OpenAI's ChatGPT, art is a diverse range of human activities and the product of those activities, usually involving creative and imaginative skills. It can take many forms, including painting, sculpture, literature, music, dance, film, photography, and other media. Art can be used to express emotions, ideas, or to tell stories, and it can also be used to reflect on and critique society. The value and meaning of art can vary greatly from one person to another, and it can be a source of enjoyment and inspiration for some, while others may not appreciate it as much. Ultimately, art is a way for people to communicate and express themselves, and it has the power to move and inspire people. And that technically means that AI art is not art, because unlike a human artist who uses reference images and our imagination to create something new, AI art is just a random mix mash of other people's art, which is a valid point. Well, I believed that till I saw these. These are images made by AI using the lyrics of a song as the prompt. And the name of the song is All Girls Are the Same by Juice WRLD. I mean, look at these. You can't tell me that these are just random pictures mashed together. The images fit the song, the art style is consistent. These images really correspond with the lyrics, and to me, this is art. I didn't realize that AI had gotten this good before seeing this video. So one has to ask the question, how is this, and this considered art? Yet all of these are not considered art, just because they were made by AI. I think AI art is doing the same thing to art now, what Marcel's Fountain did back in 1917. I really think that AI is going to change how we think about art and what we consider to be art. The other problem is ownership, and there are two parts to this. The first one is, when the algorithm was being developed, they used millions and millions of artists' art pieces for the AI to use as a reference. And many artists are angry because their art was used without their consent and they aren't even getting credited. Which to me is a dumb point, because whenever I draw something, I don't go out asking every individual artist if I can use their art as a reference image. And I doubt there's an artist who credits every artist whose art they used as a reference when they were drawing. Though I would say it would at least be fair if they put a list of the artist's name whose art pieces they used while developing the algorithm on their site. I think that's the bare minimum they can do. The second point is, who actually owns the art? Does it belong to the person who put the prompt in or the person who designed the AI? But for this example, let's just say the art belongs to the person who put the prompt in. Then what would happen if two people put the same prompt in? I think I have a solution for that.
Now to the latest trend that's sweeping the internet.
So-called NFT.
They're now selling for huge bucks.
$69 million.
Oh my gosh. So what's behind this latest craze?
That is the question to ask.
So remember a while back when people were going crazy over NFTs? I think they might just be the solution. So if you put in a prompt and you're the first person to put in that specific prompt, then you get to own the picture. Kind of like how you can own an NFT. If someone else puts in the same prompt, then you just get a copy of the artwork. They don't actually get to own it, but they can use the picture. And if someone else puts in the same prompt, then they just get a copy of the artwork. they don't actually get to own it, but they can use that picture. Kind of like how you can go to Pinterest and download a picture of someone's art, but you don't actually get to own it, even though it's on your computer. Does that make sense? It's still the property of the artist who made it, and whoever puts in the prompt first is, in a sense, the artist who made that piece. Yeah, I know, they aren't actually artists, but you get my point. I think the main reason why artists dislike AI art so much is because they fear that they will lose their jobs. And I am sad to say, but it is true. You've seen how good it is already, and it's only going to get better with time. Which means that in a few years or months, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for us artists to compete against AI. It's going to get to the point where companies and studios are going to think twice about hiring an artist versus using an AI, just because it would be cheaper. But that's just the reality of our world. Lots of people have lost their jobs due to machines and software. And lots of people are going to lose their jobs in the next couple of years. An example is self-driving vehicles. Truck drivers, chauffeurs, cab drivers, delivery drivers and the likes will be out on the streets unless they can find a way to hop onto a new career. Not only are AIs able to do their job more efficiently than humans, but they can do it at a much lower cost. They don't need to sleep, they don't need to take lunch breaks or go to the bathroom or complain about their salary or give their boss an attitude or be late for work. In a sense, they are the perfect employee. And when you factor the fact that they do this at such a fast rate, one has to ask, should we just give up on art? I know so far it seems like I'm siding with the AI, but to be honest with you, AI art scares me a little. And I love what I do. I love making art, designing these characters and making animations. And I think most people feel the same way about their craft. Even if I get replaced by AI because there's no way for me to compete against them, I'm still going to continue to make art, and I'm still going to enjoy consuming art, whether it's made by a human or not. If something is beautiful, it will stay beautiful to me. I'm not gonna hate it just because it was made by AI. And I think that's a healthy mindset to take. If you truly love art and your craft, then you'll continue to make art. Sure, it's a bummer that you won't be able to do this for a living, but it is what it is. There are millions of people who have normal jobs and also have a hobby or something that they're really passionate about, but they can't do it full time. But this doesn't stop them from doing it in their free time. Before we move to the next point, there's something I want to talk about. So I had a weird thought while putting this video together. Now bear with me here, because it's a little out there. What do you think Leonardo da Vinci or any person from that era would say if they saw you using a drawing tablet and Adobe Photoshop to make digital art? Just think about that for a second. Modern digital painting software has made painting so easy. I used to paint traditionally back in the day, and I have to say, it's so much easier doing it digitally. Made a mistake? Ctrl-Z will fix it for you. Want a very specific color? You don't have to waste time mixing colors when you have the color wheel. Want to change blending modes? You have a large selection to choose from. Want to change the color without having to repaint it? Fill bucket. Don't want to accidentally paint in a certain area? What's this? The freehand tool which allows you to create a mask? Oh, and I forgot to mention things like 3D models and the hundreds of other tools and brushes that you have available to you. You don't think that Leonardo da Vinci would just look at your art and be like, that's not art because you cheated by using software. I think you get the point I'm trying to make, and I want you to think about it for a second. The point I'm getting to is, should we treat AI image generators as a tool? Just a super advanced version of the drawing software that we use. Instead of wasting hours and hours drawing and rendering out these pictures, you can just type in a prompt and the software does all the hard work for you. Though I will say this does take the soul out of the art. But don't you think Leonardo would say the same thing about modern digital painting software? I'm really curious to know what you guys think about that, so drop a comment down below. So in the last point, I briefly talked about seeing AI as a tool to help artists instead of the enemy. I really think that's the stance we should take, and I'll give my reason for saying this. I know in this video it sounds like I'm pro AI art, but the thing is, whether we like it or not, it's here to stay. The amount of money it could potentially produce is a lot, like a lot. I honestly think that posting anti-AI art is not going to stop these companies. I mean, think about it from the perspective of the studios. You could literally cut down costs by replacing some of your employees with software and save so much money. And honestly, studios don't care about your opinion on using AI art. All they really care about is making money. I mean, let's be honest. That's why they do any of the work that they do. In an ideal world, they would just hire good artists who put genuine love and effort into their work. But that's not happening. So the next best thing is this. Though I might be wrong, so let me know in the comment section down below. So my idea is this. The AI are used as tools in the line of production. Let me give an example. So let's take concept art. A team of concept artists would make a couple of drawings. They would feed these images into the AI. The AI could use other reference images to supplement it, but it would use the images made by the concept artists as the main source of inspiration or the main reference. And it would generate hundreds of variations of these drawings. Then the artist would pick the ones that best suit the project and use them to finalize the design. You have the best of both worlds. An AI exploring lots of variations in a fraction of the time they would take an artist, and an experienced artist putting it all together. The human touch that brings it all to life. And also you need a person to put it all together, because you can't tell an AI, hey, I really like this drawing, but don't you think it'd be better if you change that building over there? Or don't you think it'd be better if you change the character's hair to better suit their personality? I don't think it'll be able to make those minor changes, and you can't ask it about its creative process. The other reason that AI wouldn't be able to fully replace artists is because there are subtle touches that really make something special. And this is usually from an artist getting inspired by something from real life, or their unique taste of things that they like and enjoy. And this AI software could be used everywhere, from drawing backgrounds to assisting in animation. The point I'm making is, artists wouldn't lose their jobs to AIs. AIs would just become a part of the process, another cog in the industry. You know they used machine learning in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right? But there's a slight problem or fear that I have. I briefly mentioned this in my previous video, where I talk about the future of animation. Go watch the video, by the way. The problem is, would using AI software in the production of things make the overall product worse? Much like how anime lost a lot of its pizzazz when it moved from being traditionally animated and being drawn on cellulite paper to being purely digital. Drawing on cell paper tends to result in small and minor but distinctly human imperfections. So that's why I think that purely digital work will never result in the same level of love and care. You look at how beautiful this was and you compare it to this, it only makes you wonder, would adding AI just make things worse? But there's no way of finding out. We'll just have to wait and see. One last point I want to make is, and I promise this is the last one, no matter how good AI gets at generating images, it could never beat this. This webtoon is just incredible. The art, the character designs, the story, the characters. Take that, Midjourney. There's no way any image generator could compete with how beautiful these illustrations are. I used to think that webtoons were weird till I stumbled upon this. Just go read it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a link in the description. I'm not sponsored, by the way, though webtoon, if you are trying to sponsor me, just hit me up with an email. I promise to be worth every second of your time. I'm talking about the webtoon. I hope that this motivates you to really double down on your craft so that you don't get replaced by machine. Before I end this video, I'd just like to say I relaunched my Patreon. If you'd like to support me so that I can continue to make videos and be able to do this full time, then head over to my Patreon. Not only would you be supporting me and the channel, but you'd get my speed painting videos, art commissions, and to decide the next video topic, animation files, updates on projects I'm working on, and more depending on the tier. So yeah, go check it out. And if you want to see some dope art that is not drawn by AI, then head over to my Instagram. Follow me while you're at it. Subscribe so you don't miss another video. Your boy posts weekly. I don't actually post weekly. But if you click that like button, that will motivate me to make videos weekly. Links to everything will be in the description. Thanks for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.